All right, welcome everybody
Well,
to a
hello.
special edition of Canuckleheads today.
Very special.
Yeah, we have
Yes.
a special guest, RJ from Critical Blast, joining us today. How are you doing, RJ?
Hi, RJ. Awesome.
I'm doing great. Token American.
Token American
Token
for
American.
this. Like, I don't know, is it like
I'm token
holidays anywhere
American.
else? It's a civic holiday here in Canada right now, which just doesn't mean very much for most people.
Some of us just get the
It's
day
Monday
off.
here.
It's
My mail
Monday.
it's
came,
it's a
so
Monday.
There you go. Yeah, I heard a rumor that the
yeah,
U.S.
the mail
mail.
came, so no holiday here.
I gotcha.
That's
I
true.
gotcha. Could you add any validity that's taking place that the U.S. Postal Service is getting a
Lose the
massive
audio.
cutback or something like that? No, your audio is fine, RJ.
I have lost my audio.
Yeah, we can hear you.
No, you haven't, RJ. Crazy American
It
bastard.
it wouldn't be a stream if there wasn't boomerang on it. So
Oh God, RJ, can you hear us? Seriously?
dun dun dun.
The
They got
Ricada virus once again strikes the show.
They got him. The
What
Whisper
does James have,
Network.
what does James have to say here? And
The Whisper Network got RJ. So James says he's not going to stick around. Just want to say Kitchener Con was my first con ever. Inviting Vic and Nick
I cannot hear
convinced me to
anything
buy a ticket,
anybody is saying.
that's awesome.
and we'll be
Thank
going
you.
again next time.
Appreciate it.
The fix for this is usually to drop out and come back in. And I'm
Yeah.
No problem.
All right, cool
Give him a
stuff.
thumbs up.
See you there. There you
All
go.
right.
Would you look at that? Live broadcasting brought to you by the finest boomers that could ever boom. Oh goodness, friggin'
We have
gracious.
Naughty One
Oh,
here today, saying not necessarily a cutback, just a streamlining of the process that they have in place is ridiculously backwards. But, yeah. Oh, RJ is back. Well, can you hear
I
him?
hear things now.
You
Yes,
hear
I-
things now.
Yay! Then I will retort my original opening question for you, RJ. Can you add any validity that's taking place that the U.S. Postal Service has a major cutback of their finances?
How would you know?
Because I saw it on the internet and it had to be true. And since you live in America and I do not, I thought you might know a little bit more about what's going on with that.
Nah, I think they're already working for nothing, and usually they're working for Amazon now.
Oh,
They-
okay.
They started Sunday deliveries because Amazon wanted things on Sundays, which was a radical shift. And
Yeah.
now, of course, Amazon does their own delivery, so what's the post office do?
That's true.
Yeah,
That's very true.
there you go.
Yeah, Randy Schrebner saying USPS is slowing down the mail. That's interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Making snail mail even slower.
Oh,
Is-
I went
is it-
to
Possible? That's amazing.
when I lived in North Carolina, I would go to the local post office, which was like 5 miles down the road from me, and I was in the middle of nowhere. Um, Literally 10 miles north of me was a town called Colon, North Carolina. So if I was 10 miles south of the Colon of North Carolina, you know what part I was living in.
So were you a semicolon to colon then?
You're in the butt
Yeah,
end of
kinda, sorta.
Carolina.
I was in the butt end of it. But I was dropping off my bills there, and then I'd get phone calls from my car finance people. It's like, you're late and we're charging you money, and I'm like, I mailed it. Here's the checkbook. I mailed it out on time. So I went to the post office and I found out that they have a truck that comes by to get the mail every time they have 100 pounds to send out.
Oh God.
And it was like a rinky-dink post office in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, that could take 6 months.
Oh goodness. The version of Rinky Dink up here is when you use the 7-Eleven post office kiosk they got there. That's about it. See, here in Canada, it's kind of funny. You put it in the mailbox, and it's gone. That's it.
Well,
Three,
I'm
four-
sure this. I'm sure the 7-Eleven changes their mail as often as they change their hot dogs.
And that's
Oh,
once
yeah.
a week, right?
Your letter goes in and then it
Ew.
just kind of spins around.
Sorry. That's some good mailing. That's not a hot
Oh
dog
my
you're eating.
goodness.
But it's so yummy. I need more of it.
Well, I have a small piece of business to take care of before we
Alright.
get into the main topic for the day.
What are we doing today?
Because
Your
it's come to my attention
Mm-hmm.
that Mr. Toye had something to say on Twitter.
So
he's-
Toy is back on Twitter.
He's back on Twitter.
Bastard.
Yeah, he's back on Twitter.
Okay.
So
Conversation.
we had 3 of them, unfortunately.
Three.
Yeah,
It's
we had
like
3
a
of them, unfortunately.
trilogy.
But no, he's been, I guess, like auto responding to people. I don't know. It's very, very weird. But I was having a conversation. Someone from the hashtag KickVic side actually gave props to Kitchener Comic Con because we had done, like, we had invited Vic and we got 2 awards from our local newspaper, Reader's Choice Awards.
Mm-hmm.
And so this individual, Daniel, let me just get his name here so I can give him props. Daniel Fitzpatrick on Twitter gave props to us, basically saying it's like, Kitchener Comic Con had him, props to them for this, blah blah blah. So we're having a nice conversation,
Awesome.
and Ron Toye jumps in and starts auto responding with like weird out of context clips, and he starts chastising at me.
Was he wearing his Canucklehead T-shirt at that point in time?
No, I don't think I don't know if he is or not. I know he's bought 2 of them, and he bought a blanket. So that's, I mean,
Ooh, okay.
he's probably watching the show still, which is why I'm bringing this up.
Okay.
So I have something special to say to Ron, just because he thought it was a really good idea, because he's a genius, forehead, galaxy brain, HD.
HD
individual.
shot on Blu-ray.
He thought it would be a great idea because he was trying to pull some crap on Twitter saying this, that about Vic, and I'm like, so I made an offhand comment,
Okay.
and then he responded back by saying by making fun of the fact that I was sexually assaulted. So Ron Toye, I know you'll watch this because you watch literally everything, and you have no life because apparently, like, I don't know if he still has a job at this point because he's literally going off the deep end. But Ron Toye, here's a special delivery. Go fuck yourself. from me truly. So that's my first point of business today.
I don't believe he did that. That is extremely low character, especially after all of the work that we talked about here on the TV show, getting, not Ken Jennings on the show and basically spending over 11 to 12 hours with him, for goodness sakes. And that's not cool.
I guess there's not going to be a part 4.
No, there was actually supposed to be a part 4. Funny story.
All right.
Before we jump into the topic today. Funny story. So the entire time we were talking with Ron, apparently Monica really, really wanted to come on the show. She really, really wanted to come on and answer all of our questions and talk to us, and she was interested in talking to me and all this stuff. It's like, okay, great. So we were going to finish up the Ron stuff first, and then we're going to have Monica on for her own standalone because we didn't want her to come on and have it piggyback onto the Vic situation and blah, 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 whatever. So we wanted to have her own. Told this to Ron. Ron's like, yeah, that's no problem. That's a great idea. So she was supposed to come on like right after the 3rd show. We were supposed to have a taping, and she couldn't do it because of some other commitment. And so she picked a day. She picked July 5th to come on the show, and we were going to have a special airing. We're going to do it for her. Okay, no problem. So she picked the time. She picked the day. July 5th comes around. She doesn't show up. So I message Ron. Ron doesn't reply. No answer from them at all. And they hadn't replied to anything since then. So, no, there probably will not be a part 4.
Jesus. And for you, Crumb, to say that, that's wow. Telling Ron to go fuck himself like that. That's
well, I think it's deserved. I think I went out of my way to be nice, or at least to try to be neutral, and give him a fair shake on here. It's one of those things. Like he said that on Twitter, just to quote him here, that let me pull it up so I'm not misquoting him. So he's not going
Throw it on the big board if you can.
bent out of shape here. Let me just pull it up here. God, it's way down here. So hold on a moment.
It's okay.
Yeah, we got enough.
I'll talk to RJ about.
Yeah, we have nothing to do right now.
You guys
RJ,
want
wait a second.
stuff?
Wait a second. RJ,
Yes.
do a pitch, man. Do a pitch. What do you got
Do
there?
a pitch.
Do a pitch.
Well, I was going to pitch this.
There you go.
This is The Devil You Know, our 370-page anthology. And the thing is,
Very appropriate.
this is the fun inside baseball stuff. 20 great stories about the devil by 20 great authors. And I about pitched this book across the fucking room today.
Why? What happened?
Because I've got a stack. Everything's packaged up to go. The author's copies are going out. And I'm just sitting here looking at my copy. And I'm like, feeling really, really proud of this book. And I'm like, we worked really hard on this. And we had some great writers. And it was formatting issues we went through and cover sizes went through. But in the end, it looks great. And then I get to the back of it. And
God.
And I got
what
two stories in here. And it's a minor thing, but I'm a perfectionist, and I'm going to have to spend money to upgrade a file.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Into them. But every story is like title, author's name at the header.
Yeah.
Every page.
Yeah.
And after Wandravanian's story, All to Play For, it says at the top, All to Play For, Wandravanian, and then I turn into the next book. The next story, and it's Demon's Pint, Devil's Jug by Steve Oden. And at the top of the page, what's it say? All to Play For, Wandravanian. All the way through the next two stories.
Oh no!
Because
what?
My
Wait a second.
kept saying link to previous. I'm like,
wait a second. You could blame the devil for that.
the devil did it. The devil's in the
There you
details.
go. It's the devil's fault. It's not your fault, RJ, because you're awesome in every way. It's the devil. The devil did it. It's the devil.
I was in freaking tears. I was so frustrated. I got this long table here, and I about did a Housewives New Jersey with. If it wasn't for the fact I had 2 laptops and 3 monitors on it, that I would have had to rebuy.
Looks like Crumb's got her business all set up. So let's get back into the show.
Here we go. So this is Daniel Fitzpatrick says really nice. Like I gave him props for it. He said, so about a month ago it was claimed that Vic Mignogna isn't bad for business since Kitchener Comic-Con, which invited him, was voted #1 festival, #1 tourist attraction. Personally, I'd like to say good for them, which is true. I mean, it was pretty good for business. And then he asked, so it raises a statement in his head, or a question in his head. If Vic Mignogna isn't actually bad for business, how come the big established mainstream conventions haven't invited him? And I saw that. I'm like, well, that's a good question, though. That's a good question.
It's a whisper question.
It is a Whisper Network question. So I said I can answer that actually because it's easier because it's easier to not invite him. That's the simple answer. It's easier. No, it's easier for big conventions to not invite him, and that's about it. I'm like, it was a lot of effort and work to face the people raising issues and making noise. So conventions are a lot of work to begin with. Never mind adding more headaches. So it takes a lot of extra effort and dedication from the events, which you won't see from large events because they'll just book someone else and call it a day.
Yep.
And just to think about it, like a team of 2 on a social media held back a wave of negative press. That was our team. Our team was myself, and we had another team member helping out about a week after. That was it. It was just us 2. And so there's literally no excuse for larger events to have paid departments to handle social media. And that's why it's important for people to voice who they want to see at events and support the industry by showing up when they listen. And I hope that Kitchener Comic-Con can be a lesson for the industry. And that apparently was enough because, I mentioned Ron several times in that exchange, right?
Okay.
You saw me. It's on Twitter, right? You guys see it. I Beetlejuice him into existence here.
Sure.
Right? So Ron pops in unprovoked.
Okay.
I literally haven't heard from this man since the last time we interviewed him.
Yeah.
I'm done playing nice. This disgusting piece of garbage should not be allowed around kids. He's allowed his legal team to harass and make a fool of himself for 18 months. I'm here to remind people exactly why he lost the lawsuit so bad and why he was sanctioned for it. How that is relevant at all to what we're talking about.
Really wrong. Really
Is there not still an appeal in process?
There is an
yes,
appeal.
appeal process. Yes, there is. And the base of the reason why Ron won the lawsuit is because the judge was being stupid on his actual ruling. So the thing is, if he thinks this is a huge W, it's really a lowercase w. And the thing is that if it goes back on appeals, he's going to be the whole case could be in a lot of trouble. Anyways, I'm sorry, Crumb. Please continue.
No worries, no worries. So basically, I am partially incorrect about this next thing that I said about he wasn't sanctioned. Okay, so the judge quote unquote sanctioned him for $5,000 for Funimation, $5,000 for Archie, and $5,000 jointly for Toye and Real. So, I mean, sanction is a very loose word here because the judge knocked off about $200,000 in attorney's fees. So to award $15,000 in quote unquote sanctions, I mean, in my opinion, that's not really a sanction. That's just a judge, like, because it actually, because I don't know if people watched Nick Rekieta's stream recently about how he went through with his new toys and he showed off that he could look up cases and stuff on this new system that he has. He showed that, according to the records, from what he could see, Judge Chupp has never had a TCPA case at all ever before. This is the first one that's been on his docket. And so in the wording of the TCPA, it's sanctions as required, quote unquote. You could sanction for $1, you could sanction for $10,000, you can sanction for $1 million. It's up to the judge. So when he sees that, he's just like, okay, well, I don't really know what to put here, so I'm just going to put down $5,000. Is that enough? I guess I think that would be enough. I think that would be sufficient. So to me, to be sanctioned, that like as Ron Toye is trying to frame it, sanctions as in they did something so grievously bad they needed to be punished for it. I don't think that's the case. I think that was just Judge Chupp looking at it and saying, well, I have to put a number here, so I think this number's appropriate.
All right.
So basically, saying like the TCPA automatically awards reasonable attorney's fees, which the judge slashed by 2/3, by the way. And so Toya's response to my retort was, go read the court record. So I'm spicy at this point because, like,
of course, I can imagine how pissed off you would be.
Well, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just like, you know what? I don't even give a fuck. Like, I mean, I gave him professional courtesy. I gave him all of his stuff, everything else. So I reply back, go parent your child, because you know.
Oh,
because
the hockey gloves are off, ladies and gentlemen. It's a jersey time.
He is literally
the remote.
Exactly. So he is literally spending every second of his life on Twitter, for the past like week and a half. So it's like, yeah, go parent your fucking child. And so he comes back and says, go report your abuser, and maybe you wouldn't be so hateful to others.
What? Go report your abuser?
Go report your abuser.
That
did your abuser throw the remote control at you?
Is your abuser a known wife beater? For goodness sakes!
Like, holy cow!
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, where have I been so hateful? I'm like, hell, I even gave you a fair shake on our YouTube channel. Such hateful behavior. I'm like, you sure you didn't get a concussion? Because you're posting more about Vic than his fans are.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe Mr. Toy is off his medication. Maybe that's kind of what's going on here. Because if he's going to come back with his own little video, you know.
Honest to goodness. Well, he hasn't even come back with a video. He doesn't have videos.
Well, he's got the Vic video that he posted in his comment just to make his point a little bit more pointyish, I guess you could say.
Like, good grief. So that was the. I know it's a bit of an aside from our main topic today, but that was something I wanted to show off.
When you start out with a left-handed compliment like that, anyways, like, yeah, it's great that they had him. Why aren't any real conventions bringing him in?
Yeah, pretty much.
And you're right too that the bigger conventions, they don't want to spend the money fighting off the negative press, especially
No.
with working as a contractor. And I've told this story before. I knew a contractor that I worked with in IT who was there one day and not there the next. And when I ran into him, I found out that he had gone to Anime St. Louis one day, and his picture ended up in the paper as one of the general pictures they took. And somebody who was a full-time employee went and said, "Hey, that contractor we got, his picture was in the paper because he went to a kiddie porn convention."
Oh my goodness.
Oh
No
no.
questions asked. It was not worth their time to try to figure this out. They're like, "Okay,
No.
well, you're gone. We're going to hire another contractor." They're a dime a dozen.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, did we lose the stream?
No, I don't think so.
We were having F's in chat. It says internet go bork.
Huh.
Oh no.
You did sound a little wonky, but just a little bit. But it should be fine.
1 second. I'm gonna
All right.
because we lost all of our viewers. So
Did
I
we?
lost my laptop, but I'm not controlling the show, so.
It's because you didn't nail your laptop down. Didn't put a leash on it. Just running around your office there. Right.
Oh.
Right.
all
It
right.
was like
well,
suddenly both my screens went black, and I'm like, I haven't been timed out that long. And now
Yeah, I
I'm
haven't
looking at
seen,
some island.
Well, as far as I could tell, StreamYards is still recording, so
well,
should be
we're
all right.
we're still broadcasting, but apparently YouTube is not. So 1 second. I'm gonna check the stream really quickly here
Uh-huh.
because everyone's saying no in chat. So
Okay. Of course, I can't see any of this, but however, we're very creative and very entertaining individuals. So let's get back to RJ because there's always something to pitch there. So
Always
the
something to
devil
pitch.
came
Yeah.
into your
hold on.
The devil,
all right.
but you know what he didn't screw up? He didn't screw up this
What's that?
wonderfully edited book,
ooh,
Bulletproof Origins.
bulletproof.
This is
Yeah,
this
there's
is
something,
by Steve J. Mitchell.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's something
Hardcore.
going on with our YouTube connection.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, YouTube's doing this little
Oh,
spiral.
so it's on
thing.
it's on the tubes. Then does that really surprise anybody?
Yeah, it's YouTube.
Well, the thing is that one of the few things we definitely do, we got the Weekly Trending Fandom Show on Facebook, and I believe we're broadcasting live on that. RJ, could you possibly check that out and see if we're still broadcasting through that
Are you
particular?
broadcasting on Facebook? What's your
Yeah.
Facebook?
It's called the Weekly Trending Fandom Show, or the WTF Show. It's got an orange and purple icon, and it's got a Catwoman in the top.
I just typed in
banner.
facebook.com/the Weekly Trending Fandom Show.
Perfect.
And
Hopefully, you could find it in one.
I see it. All I got to do is press play on it, I suppose.
I
Nope,
suppose.
wait, it's up and it's running. So
Awesome.
Click to expand.
There you go.
I shall click to expand. I shall turn off the volume of it.
And here we are doing it live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all
We'll
ages.
do it live. All right, and we'll do it live.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to cut this, and then we're gonna have to bring it back.
Okay, that's cool. We're all
what I'm
professionals here. We
thinking.
can start from the top.
All I got to do is press play on it, I suppose. Oh,
Oh.
we are. I can hear the Facebook now. It's like 10
I
seconds
can
behind.
hear you. That's amazing.
we're gonna have to cut this, and then we're gonna have to bring it back.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, well, that's the
Yeah, I can
Facebook
hear
version.
that too.
So I'll shut that off because we've proven quod
Yeah.
erat demonstrandum.
Perfect.
So it's just YouTube, which means that somebody took you down. You
Took
probably
what?
got struck. Probably got struck.
Yeah, I'm
think
looking
so?
everywhere. I'm looking everywhere, but I don't have any. I don't have any at all. Like, there's no
Why
word
would
anywhere.
someone want to strike Crumbium's channel?
Because you put Whisper Networks in the title of the video.
You can't do that on YouTube.
You can, but you're going to get, who knows how many people sit there looking for Whisper Network right now. I mean, hell, Richard Pace is sitting here trying to tell everybody what a great person Stephanie Cook is. And everybody in this thread is saying how much of a liar Bill Willingham is for saying that she stole in excess of $10,000 from him.
I was going to
and
say,
then
doesn't
fled
she
to
got a
Canada.
10K floating around, like 10K